Hi Gemini, I'm going to be doing your monthly reading for February 2019 for Gemini Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I'm going to be working with 3 different decks today, 2 tarot decks, 1 oracle. This particular tarot I just got, it's called Ethereal Visions. I personally really love this deck. The artwork is just really beautiful and it has a really nice gold film on it. I recommend that to anyone. And then I'll be using the Spirit Song Tarot that works with animals and the Goddess Oracle deck. So I'll be using a 7-card spread for the monthly forecast. So before we begin, I shall do an energy clearing. Alright, and then I'm going to shuffle the decks up and see what's coming up for you, Gemini. So set some intentions for this month. Kind of visualize what you're going to be putting into the cards. Okay. Okay. And last 2 cards. And then the last one. Okay. Well, let's start. So, for where you're going to be at this month, we have, for February, 2 of Swords. And swords are air signs like you, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So this could also be showing you or just, your situation. I feel like, it's going to be both. Let me take a moment to meditate on this card really quick before I reveal what I think. Okay, so I think you're going to be focusing a lot this month on a lot of self-discovery and really making some big decisions on just making decisions in the areas where you've had big plans. Because you could be planning a lot of different things this following month and things that you have been determined to get done, or just, work that has been needing a lot of time and processing and dedication. And this kind of work is also could just be the same kind of work that's helping you discover yourself. But as you can see, this woman is blindfolded, so I think you're kind of like, she can't see what's happening, but she knows she holds the swords in her hands and she keeps them close to her. And I think you have these goals in mind that you keep very close to you, but of course, you can't see the outcome yet because you're not at that point. You're putting in the work to get to that point, but you're still kind of you haven't seen the results yet. You're still in the processing mode. So I think the main thing for you is to just stay focused in what you're doing and to not get distracted in that, and to be very practical about the decisions you're going to be making that are going towards the work that you're putting in, whatever it is, whether it's towards career, your home life, romance, friendships, what dreams that you've been aspiring to achieve. It could be a lot of different things. But just the main energy I'm getting for you this month is staying focused and making very practical decisions in your work. And then for the inner focus for you this month, we have the Knight of Wands, Wands are fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. So I think a lot of things you're focusing on within right now correlate to, how should I put this? Yeah, I mean, you know, determination and staying energetic and going for your goals, and staying passionate in how you're pursuing them, because this knight, he's on a horse, like he's pursuing what he is focused on and he's determined to get it. And I feel like that's like you right now, like especially like you're very determined to get what you want, and you're holding, you know, that close to you. You're holding what you want very close to you, those goals that you have in mind, and you're out to get it. But to watch out for impulsive behavior in your decision making as you're pursuing to get what you want, because you might move maybe a little too fast and miss something in the process that you needed to see. Because as you can see, like again, like she's blindfolded, she can't see what's going to be happening to her. It's kind of like unknown. So I think you really need to pay attention to the signs and really sit with like all the details you're gathering before you like quickly move forward with those details. Really like meditate on like what's the knowledge you need to be in soaking into your system, and how that knowledge can help benefit you in being precise in your decision making and how you're journeying ahead without, you know, possibly taking the wrong route, and then, you know, having it take longer to get to where you're trying to go is pretty much kind of what I'm getting in that. But to keep staying determined and passionate as you're going through this journey and what you're going after. And then for the outer focus this month, we have a reversed Ace of Cups. Cups are water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So, I feel like a lot of the outer focus for you is really maybe some things you haven't been wanting to see in your emotions, because you've been focused a lot of the internal work and the physical work, that maybe you've been missing things that are taking place on the outside. Like, you know, you could be repressing some emotions, and you might be vulnerable to, you know, what you know is going to change for you, and maybe like you're feeling a little nervous about that and you're repressing those feelings because you know you're going after what you want, but it also might be making you feel a certain way of unsureness in these new changes ahead. Because in changes, what does that mean? There's endings that come with change, right? And you might be like vulnerable to certain things ending that you have to separate yourself from, because maybe those are just things you don't really want to admit to yourself that you know are going to be part of this process as you're journeying ahead. Because, you know, you're going to be leaving some things behind when you're moving to new areas and discovering new areas of your life. And that could be hard for you to sit with, and that's where you might be repressing some of these emotions, because you're like, well, I know this is part of, you know, my journey, but do I really want to face that part, you know? Like, I think that's the part you really have a hard time really looking at and sitting with, because maybe it does make you feel vulnerable in that way, and it's maybe a little hard for you to swallow and accept. But you know, at the same time, like, it's meant to be, and it's really not going to be that hard as long as you learn to allow the change to take place and to allow certain things to end so you can make this progress. Because if you allow yourself to really stay in those feelings, it's going to make the journey ahead a little more difficult for you. But to just like really know that, you know, those feelings exist and they're there for a reason, but to not let it like stop you from feeling passionate about what you're doing, because what you're doing is all happening for a specific reason, for your higher purpose. So I wouldn't question that, even if like what's been familiar to you has been very fond to you. It's obviously things are changing because it is time for you to grow and to, you know, really, how should I put it, like upgrade your life And when you do that, then yes, there's things that are going to have to fade out of your life, but for the better. It doesn't have to be so sad and emotional and gloomy. It can be like really inspiring and hopeful. So just to see it in a more hopeful light instead of like, oh, I'm going to have to leave this behind, this is sad, and turning that emotion to, oh, like, this is good, like, I really appreciated what this offered me when it was in my life, but now I'm ready for what's to come, and that's exciting. So that's what I'm getting for that. And then ways for you to thrive this month for February, we have 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles are earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. And so this is all connected to the material realm, the physical realm, career. So I think you're hard at work, and that's what's helping you thrive for this month. You have a lot of goals in front of you. You're being very creative in what you're doing in this process, and you're staying very concentrated in your work, and you're staying focused, like I said before. And that's what's maintaining this area for you to thrive, because you're like, okay, like I know it's time to upgrade my life. I'm putting in the work. I'm staying focused, and I'm like determined to make all this happen and to create this sustainable life for myself so I can be abundant in all areas that I need. And you're not letting anything distract you. You're very concentrated on what you're working on, and that is what is helping you in this whole process and how you're evolving. And, you know, to keep like staying connected to this realm, because, you know, this is all what's helping you get to where you want to go and your goals. And it's also just reassuring that, you know, even though you've had these feelings and your emotions that have been a little hard, that all the work is going to be paying off anyway, and, you know, giving back to you anything that's maybe been difficult to sit with. And so yeah, it's just remembering that as long as you don't let anything pull you out of your focus, then you will continue to thrive in what you're doing in your work, and it will go in the right direction that you're seeking it to. And then for the struggle for your month, we have the World. So I'm going to meditate on this card for a second, since it came up in the position of the struggle. So maybe what you could be struggling with is knowing that things are coming to a completion, and that whatever you're working on might also like reveal that it could mean movement and traveling somewhere different, to bring that fulfillment and satisfaction in what you're doing in your work, for your career, or anything in your life that you've been passionate about. And you might have a hard time like you might have a hard time like allowing yourself to move to these new areas in your life, and, you know, and you might really like have a hard time accepting that, you know, you do have to come to a completion of certain things in your life, those endings that are, you know, really meant for you to let go of, so you can make space for what you're trying to bring in, right, to, you know, to fruition. And, you know, like, as much as that makes you feel kind of vulnerable to have to do that and put yourself in that place, it's really not as scary as you might think it is. Like, the world is also there to show you there's a whole world of possibility out there for you to explore, and there's a lot to see and to go out and travel to. And, you know, and if you are someone who is afraid to travel and move to like really upgrade your life with your career and whatever you're doing, then that's kind of what's going to be your setback and your struggle. And in really to make bigger strides in your life, you have to allow like these huge shifts to take place and not let it like really hold you down to the point where you don't want to move. because all part of change is movement, fluid movement, phases. And they're not meant to be a struggle. They're meant to be stepping stones in your life. And if you can see it as stepping stones instead of something that's really hard to accept, then the process will be a lot smoother for you in the outcome. And then just in the whole like journey of it. And then the advice for you for February, we have Sage, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So I'm going to read this card to you for your advice. Dearest one, quiet your mind, breathe, and let go of words, worries, and plans. Go into that space of silence deep within you, that vortex of peace where the world doesn't enter. Now is the time to retreat in silence and spend time alone. I'll lovingly help you rejuvenate and recenter yourself. Don't try to make any decisions now. Just allow your mind to be at rest. You'll know soon enough when it's time to take action. But for now, quiet your mind, rest. Go on a retreat, listen more and talk less. Avoid loud noise and sounds. Meditate, surrender mind chatter to heaven. Know that you're more sensitive to noise now. Yeah, so whatever that has been like rushing through your mind and all the work that you've been doing, the best thing for you to do while you're going through this time, for the most wisest advice for you to take right now is to really get that quiet time, get some alone time to really reflect and go within and really ask yourself the right questions in a very quiet, tranquil space. And like it said, to just really surrender to all that mind chatter that could be making you nervous about all these changes that are happening, what you're going to have to complete and end, and what you're going to have to allow to take space to make room for what's happening. And really just go into that space within you that makes you feel safe, and knowing that, yes, you are sensitive to everything that's happening around you, but again, it's all just you creating a more beautiful life for yourself. But the best way for you to feel comfortable in the process is to really get that time alone to rest and contemplate over all the details and really take the time to understand where you're at and really listen to yourself in ways that you maybe have been neglecting and haven't been paying attention to. And just tune into those areas, and then when you do, then it'll be easier for you to know what action you're going to need to take when you come out of that time with yourself. And then it won't feel as difficult for you to allow the changes to be what they are. And then for the lesson of the month, we have a reversed, the Magician, willpower and creation. I think it's the Raven. And I'll read this one to you. Okay. So, yep, Raven. Willpower and creation. With her talent and bringing in magic to a situation, Raven is your mentor at making the best use of your skills. She will help you shed fears so that you can unleash your full potential and personal power. Transforming ideas into reality, Raven knows that possibilities begin from nothing. Her spirit holds the fires of creativity that turn obstacles into productive expression. Let this be a reminder to reach onward into the infinite as you unleash beautiful energies. When you allow divine force to flow through you, your intentions toward making dreams come true will manifest through sheer will. You can make things happen because you are the ruler of your reality. In holding yourself back due to a fear of failure, it is difficult for anything to be achieved. With a change in attitude and trust in your heart's passion, your willpower will help you overcome any obstacle. Keywords: blocked creative energy, unrealistic ambitions, inability to stay focused, manipulation. Yes, I feel the lesson for you in this month is to really not let any fear of you failing and what you're doing in your work stop you from making the changes and the progress to happen, because you have it all in you to make it possible, because you have the skills and the opportunities are awaiting you. It's just you getting out of this like mindset that's holding you back from really doing what you're passionate about and being in your willpower in that way. And to just know, like, you can't let anything like that block your creative energy or your ambition that makes you unable to stay focused and then ends up manipulating you in your process. You are stronger than that, and you know you have what it takes to give yourself everything that you've dreamed of having. It's just all about moving past, you know, the limitations of the mind and really following what your heart is telling you, Gemini. All right, Gemini, well, that's all I'm receiving for you today, and just know you have what it takes. It's just you who has to believe in yourself to do that, and you can. But other than that, like, I hope this reading was very useful to you and your knowledge, and that if you do want to do a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to the description link box below and go to my Instagram, Mystic Yasmin, and send me a message. Other than that, Gemini, I hope you have a blessed day, and until next time.